Welcome everyone to another episode of Traders Talk Podcast, where we sit down with some of the best traders and individuals in the funding space. Today I've got a very special guest with me. I've got Samuel. He's the CMO of Traders with Edge. It's a prop firm that I just did a review with. You guys have probably seen it. I'm currently funded with him, and today we're going to sit down with Samuel, ask him some questions to see if we can get a better understanding about this prop firm. Thank you for coming on, Samuel. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Osman. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Now let's get started. Okay, so can you just give us a quick intro about Traders with Edge, how long you guys have been around for, and kind of where you guys are currently based out of?
Yeah, sure. So we started building the company in about 2021, I believe it was, and then we opened the doors at the start of 2022. The whole reason and the idea behind starting the prop firm is we had a funds management business, and we're always looking for new strategies to build a portfolio with. And so I came across the prop firm model in late 2020, and then we were looking at that model and going, well, can we actually acquire new traders to manage money for us as opposed to building algorithms? Because predominantly we were building algos back then, and you probably know, to build algos, it takes a lot of time and money to design them, develop them, back test them, forward test them before you can put it live on funds. So we saw this prop firm model and we thought, hey, that could be a great way to recruit new traders. And so we opened up in, like I say, in early 2022. And it's all been going pretty well since then.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, if you guys are interested in doing a challenge with Traders with Edge, there's going to be a link in the description below. You can get a discount. Now, let's talk about some of the models, right? Because you guys have some really interesting models. You guys have 3 different models. One of the, I hope I say this correctly. One of them is called a turtle, one of them is called a hare, and one's the typical instant funding. Let's talk about the hare model, which is what most prop firms have. Like, it's a 2-phase, 10%, 5% sort of challenge instance. Is there anything different in terms of the rules for this challenge? Because it's similar to a lot of other prop firms. Is there anything different in terms of rules, or is there anything that makes it unique from other prop firms?
Yeah, sure. So the main difference with our 2-phase challenge than a lot of other prop firms is we allow 60 days to pass phase 1 and 60 days to pass phase 2. So most of them, like, it's a pressure cooker, you're in there. And really when it's 30 days, they say it's 30 days, it's actually only 22 trading days in a month. So you've only got 22 trading days to make 10%, which we feel is a little bit unfair.
That's correct.
And the feedback that we got from traders is we love a little bit longer time. So that's predominantly our main point of difference. The other point of difference is that traders can customize their challenge. So they can, increase the drawdown, they can increase the maximum days further if they want. So if they wanted on their 2-phase challenge, they can increase phase 1 to have 120 days to pass phase 1. There's a whole bunch of other customizations that they can do to that challenge as well.
Okay, so that's a really cool, unique. So one of the main things is that 60 days. So instead of having that 30-day constraint, which is honestly very tough, and I've been getting a lot of feedback from traders that want longer time periods. So that's really good. Having the 60 days is amazing. Now, the other point that you just mentioned was the add-ons. It's something that I showed in the review video. If you guys want to check out the review, you can actually go on and add certain things to, you can actually make your drawdown bigger, your overall drawdown bigger. There's lots of things. You guys can check it out once you're at the checkout page for the challenge. Now let's move on to the turtle model, which now this is a bit more unique because not every prop firm has this. We do see some prop firms bringing this into the industry. This is basically your 1-step challenge, I believe, right? Is there anything you want to, maybe I'll let you do the explaining. Is there more days in this? How does this one work?
So this one, we that's where we named them the turtle, as people want to take their time that are potentially holding positions for a lot longer. And so we give a whole year to be able to pass that challenge. You still only got to make 10% within the year. It's for people that want to take it easier, that don't want any pressure at all. They just want to focus on doing, really good trading. They're taking smaller position sizes. And that's who this challenge is designed for. You can also customize this challenge if you want to, change some of the parameters around. We do allow traders to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the main point of the turtle, is that, you can hold positions longer. You can take your time. You might want to take a couple of weeks off here and there and ultimately get funded within a year. You don't have to take a full year, obviously, but you've got
You have the time.
that leeway there. Yeah.
So it's one phase, 10%, and then you have the full year to basically hit that target, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's super unique. I don't think any company is offering that. So that's a really unique model. And I think a lot of the viewers would appreciate something like that, and they'd love to check it out. Now we've all seen some new prop firms come into the space. Some have gotten some really bad reviews, and I'm not going to name any names, but not paying traders, failing them for no reason. I've seen that actually happen with myself as well, and I've gotten a lot of stuff from people in my Discord. How do you guys plan on creating and keeping a good reputation, so you guys can really stick around for the long run?
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time designing our challenges and thinking about the end goal, the end objective of why we're running this prop firm. As we know, as you mentioned, there's a lot of shysters in the industry.
Yes.
People that come in to try to make a quick buck, they're like, great, we can set up a prop firm, we'll just, make a shopping cart and we'll take people's money. And they don't actually have much substance behind them. We believe that we're approaching it with a bit of a different angle because we come from that funds management background, looking for traders that we can actually fund long term. We're not looking for gamblers that just want to come in and go 50-50 on a trade. They're just going to go all in on one trade and either blow up the account or make a big profit. That's not what we're looking for. And so we design all of our challenges with that in mind. Sure, some other prop firms probably have what some traders would classify as like better trading terms.
Right.
No stop loss, like have 200 to 1 leverage, hold over the weekends and do all this stuff. But the thing is, what traders don't realize is that's the stuff that makes you fail. Having the ability to trade with 200 to 1 leverage is a disadvantage. It's not actually an advantage. You look at any of the most successful, long-term profitable traders, none of them are using that amount of leverage.
Right.
It's not to say that you can't make profit by doing that, but it's just people not understanding the structure that's been given to them. And some prop firms out there, and they just want you to come and pay them a fee and want you to lose. Whereas what our whole focus is, it's using the challenges to actually vet traders and bring them into our stable of traders so that we can train them and further progress them for people that are serious and want to have a real career in this business. So we believe in also doing the right thing by people. We try to be as fair as we can. I mean, we always believe that we're being fair. Some traders will say you're not being fair. The thing with trading is it's all black and white, right?
Correct.
So it's either you pass or fail. We try to make our rules as black and white as possible. I know some prop firms, they either don't state the rule at all.
Correct.
Or sometimes what I've seen with some others, and I'm not going to name names, is they hide the rule in their fine terms and conditions. Have this massive big terms and conditions and all these hidden little tiny rules that you wouldn't even know were there. And it's specifically designed so that you fail the challenge. Before starting this business, I went and traded for a number of different prop firms to see, how they work and what they do, and had this experience with one of them where I legitimately passed. Are you using arbitrage? No. Are you using EAs? No. Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And we had this email chain of like 25 emails or something going backwards and forwards, and they're like, how did you pass? And I'm like, because I just traded and passed. I thought that's how it works. But they were trying to go through every one of their fine, terms and conditions to try to find something to fail me on. And I'm like, no, like I passed. And they're like, so it's just seeing it from the customer perspective. I don't want our customers to ever experience that, where it feels like the prop firm's, against them, and we're just trying to make money off the fee, because that's not the goal. So having that bad experience made me really, think about, well, now that I understand it from the trader's perspective, how do we design the business in a way that supports the traders? And I mean, look, some people are going to be annoyed at us and they're going to say, oh, you tried to cheat me or whatever. It's like, we had someone come through the other day and left us a bad review, and they're like, oh, you just made up these rules on the spot to fail me. And it's like, no, go and have a look at the website. They've been there. The rules have been there for a year. They haven't changed, and it's pretty black and white. But you can't, that you can't manipulate the trades or whatever it is. So yeah, inevitably we're going to get some people complain, but we try to be, as fair and transparent with people. We, previous to this, I've been in business for a very long time, and you don't stay in business for a long time by doing the wrong thing by people. So we kind of bring that whole philosophy to this business as well. And inevitably people are going to, other prop firms are going to probably blow themselves up by, doing the wrong thing. I mean, we all know that, as soon as you start doing the wrong thing by people, they go straight to reviews, they go to social media, and that's something that, we believe that if you just do the right thing by people, it should never happen.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that you said early on was, I don't really think it's necessary to have more than 1 to 30 leverage. I mean, in most cases, you don't really need more than that typically. And yeah, there's definitely prop firms I've had I remember there's a couple of experiences where they flat out were a scam. There's one where I passed the challenge, and then when I actually placed the trade on the live account, they said you violated a lot size rule, which was never ever mentioned on the actual challenge. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you guys are actually trying to vet real traders, so you can actually back them with real capital. And because of that, you have to be a little bit more stricter. You can't just let them do sort of whatever they want, because you're not in what some of the other prop firms want you to do, which is gamble, try to make as much as you can on the challenge, and then eventually lose the live account, because that's how they really make money, right? So that's really good to hear. It's really good to hear for any of the serious traders that are watching that want to do this for long run. And since you guys are backing traders like that, I don't think you're ever going to really have a problem paying traders out. I don't think that should be an issue with you guys. Do you guys have any kind of a scaling plan, because you are looking for the long-term trader? Is there any benefit for that person to come through and work with you so they can be with you in the long run?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have scaling up to 3 million for an individual trader. And there's another thing I'll talk about in a moment, which allows traders to scale much larger than that. But I guess in terms of our scaling plans, we have 2 plans. The one is kind of like your default prop firm plan, which is, make 10% over 4 months. 2 months have to be winning months, and then we'll top up the account by another 25%.
Okay.
And that's ongoing. So they might make the 10% within 4 months. We top them up 25%. They might be flat over the next period. That's fine. And then they might make another 10% over the next 4 months, and we'll top them up another 25%. So it's pretty kind of standard. The other scaling plan that we have is a rapid scaling plan, which we believe is, it's quite unique. I think there's some others starting to do it now.
Okay.
Where essentially the trader leaves their profits in the account. We leave our profits in the account.
Okay.
The account every month numbers, because it's quite a complex formula for how we calculate this. We have a calculator on the website, by the way, where people can actually calculate what this would look like on the scaling plans page. But essentially, the more profit the trader makes, the more money we put in, and it's exponential. So I think there's an example on the website. If a trader makes 5% a month and they start on like a 100K account, don't quote me on this, but it's something like this. After a 12-month period of being consistent, they end up with a $3 million account.
Wow.
And we both left our profits in the account. So we both left our risk, we both left our earnings on the table, I guess.
Okay.
We've mitigated our risk, and we just keep topping up that account. So this is how like traditional, bricks and mortar type prop firms work.
Right.
And then if we go on to the other model that I alluded to previously, is we actually, after traders have traded with us for 2 years, and we have a verified track record, because we both know that, it's easy to fake track records in this industry. Right? Yes. You can manipulate the MetaTrader data and show false results. So when someone's actually traded with us on a live account for 2 years, what we will then do is we have other partners that are much bigger institutions. We will take the trader to the institutions and we'll introduce them to them. So after a trader has been trading with us for more than 2 years and they've got a verified track record, obviously it's got to be a profitable track record, the drawdown to profit ratio needs to be good, then what we'll do is we'll take them to a much larger institution. We're talking like global behemoths. And these guys are looking for traders. They're always looking for good, consistent traders. But what they want is a verified, proven track record. And now we both know that track records can be manipulated in MetaTrader. And so if a trader has been trading with us on live funds, we can verify that for the larger institution, and they'll actually fund traders up to 30 million.
Wow.
So this, I believe, is a really unique position that no one else is doing in the space. We obviously have the contacts to be able to do this. You can't just rock up to someone's door and say, hey, we've got traders for you. So yeah, I think that's for people that want a real career out of this, they're not just looking for short-term, make a quick buck from a prop firm. We really have a long-term career path for people in place.
Wow, that's I've never heard that before, but that's pretty insane. So for somebody who's really looking for a long-term career, who's very invested in their trading, obviously very experienced, they have a lot to gain from you guys. Now, just on the top of your head, do you recall how many funded traders you guys currently have, and just a rough amount of how many payouts have been initiated since 2022 maybe?
I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. It's not something that I
that's fine.
Regularly track of. We do have in our community, so we've got built within our website, we've got we call it our social media for traders. It's kind of like Facebook for traders or LinkedIn for traders. We have that built into our website. So whether you're a trader with us or not, you can join the platform. We have the phone apps, and within that we post all the payout proof. Well, we try to post most of the payout proof. Sometimes we don't. We're busy and we don't get to post it all. You see traders posting their payout proof in there as well. But like people have been getting pretty good payouts, multiple thousands of dollars, multiple times. We have. I don't know, I'd say at the moment, just at a guess, probably around 50 funded traders at the moment. Don't quote me on the exact number, but I know it's around that. In terms of funded traders till now, there's obviously more than that, but, inevitably some funded traders just, they blow up their account.
Of course.
So yeah, that's roughly what we're looking at the moment. But like I say, for live proven results, the best thing is just to go to the community tab on the website. They can download the app and they can see all the proof in there.
Awesome. And I see that you guys, you have some things called like Trader of the Week. What incentives do you guys have to support that community that you were just speaking about? Ambassador program, things like, what are some of those things you guys have going on for the traders? Yeah, so we have some really good initiatives going there. So we have Trader of the Week. And what that is for people that are regularly trading during the week. They're either trading on, we don't care if they're trading on a demo or a live account, but what they need to do is they need to mark up the chart and say where they're going to enter. They need to actually enter the trade and prove that they entered the trade. So they can do that within the social platform. They just make a post and say, hey, I'm going to enter Euro USD long here. Or if this happens, then I'm going to, it's going to trigger my entry. They take screenshots, they just upload it. And then every week we choose someone who has been consistent and actually like trading properly, not just making stuff up. Right.
We'll choose someone and give them account credit. So we'll give them, I think it's like $100 credit we give every week to someone who's been really putting in the effort as a trader, essentially catalog and record their trades happening. Because obviously we know it's a good practice, right? Journaling your trades, and we all learn from it. So we want to incentivize those people that are actually it's not just about clicking a button and placing the trade. We know it's about how you're going to place the trade, when you're going to exit the trade, all that sort of stuff. So we incentivize people like that. We also have our ambassadors program. So what we found is there's a whole heap of people that are really passionate about trading, but they might not be able to afford a prop firm challenge. There's many people from Nigeria, South Africa, a whole bunch of different countries, even some of the poorer countries in Asia, who are really passionate about trading, but they don't have the opportunity. Because like $100 US for you or I is probably nothing. Yeah. But for someone that's like $100 US might be like 2 months' salary
or more.
It's very difficult for those people to make a living from this or to even get started. and they might have really good potential. They might actually be a good trader. They might be disciplined. They might study, really hard. But so what we want to do with those guys, or not just those guys, but anyone, it's open to anyone, is they can join our ambassador program or apply for it. And if they're accepted, they can create content for us, and we will pay them in account credit. So if they write an article for us, for example, then we'll pay them up to, I think it's about $20 per, well thought out big blog post article. And we'll pay them in account credit. So then they can write an article or write a couple of articles, get enough account credit, and then purchase a challenge account or purchase an instant funding account or purchase a course. So it's kind of like they might not have the opportunity to earn that money somewhere. I mean, most people do through the internet. They might not have the right connections to earn money online, and so we try to offer that as a unique way to support these people who might not otherwise have the opportunity to take a challenge.
Yeah, that's really amazing, and you are correct. There, just even if a challenge costs $400, that's really not something that a lot of people can do in some countries. It's way out of their budget. The $1 million question, Samuel: why do you think so many traders fail prop firm challenges?
That's a really interesting, good question. So, what we find is that the number one reason why people fail is because they don't understand position sizing correctly. Now, there's probably a whole bunch of people listening and they're going, yeah, I've got that sorted. I don't need to know this, like fast forward the video or something like that. But what I can tell you without being disrespectful is that 80 to 90% of people that think that, they probably don't have it sorted. And I'm going to explain why. Trading your account, you're using a lot size. So you're just saying every trade I'll put 1 lot, or I'll put 5 lots, or I'll put 10 lots. You're not sizing correctly for your account balance and that actual trade. Some trades might have your confidence rate of a particular trade might be 100%. So your trade size should be bigger. Another trade, your confidence rate might be 50%. So it might meet your rules, but you're like, not sure about this trade. You shouldn't be using a full position size for that. But it's also relative, obviously, to how far away your stop loss is. And why we see that so many people fail their challenge accounts is because they don't consider, right? So let's say you're on a hair account that we spoke about before, the 2-phase challenge. You've got a 10% max drawdown, and you're using, let's say you're trading Euro USD and you place a 10-lot trade, and now it moves 50 pips. You lose 5K.
Right.
And the maximum loss on that account was 5K. So you're now out of the game.
Right.
That's it on one trade. So you're thinking about placing a 10-lot trade as opposed to thinking about how volatile is the market right now. If you're trading London or New York sessions, it's going to be a lot more volatile. Your stop loss might need to be further away. What's the slippage at the time of the day? Like if you're trading Asian session or Sydney, maybe the liquidity is a lot less then. And so if you're using a bigger position size, you're going to get slippage when your stop loss gets hit. So people are not considering this. And this is what takes people out and why they fail. So think about this. Even if you didn't hit the daily limit, right? You placed that 10-lot trade and you lost $5,000 on a $100,000 account. That's 5%. So let's say you didn't violate the daily rule. But now you go and you place another trade of the same lot size. You've lost 2 trades in a row. Now, losing 2 trades in a row, it's really easy. Unless, if you think about it, if you've got a 60% win rate, so you know your strategy, you've back tested it, you've forward tested it, you've been trading it for years, and you know that's got a 60% win rate, which is really good, assuming that you've got a 1-to-1 win to loss ratio, right? So when you win $100. When you lose $100, and your win rate of your strategy is 60%. The probability of you having 3 losses in a row, 100% probability that you will lose 3 times in a row. And you could lose 3 times in a row multiple times. So you could lose 3 times in a row, then you have 1 win, and then you could lose another 3 times in a row. The chance or the probability of that happening is 100%.
Wow.
Right? So people are taking these oversized trades and not thinking about what their win rate is, when the probability, what they're essentially doing is they're stacking the deck against themselves because they're trying to pass too quickly, when it's absolutely inevitable that at some point they're going to have a losing streak, risk per trade. If you're risking 2.5% per trade, you've got a 10% max drawdown. You are almost guaranteed of not passing that challenge because of the win rate and the probability of 92% that you're going to have a streak of 4 losses in a row. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely makes sense. And I think, I mean, risking more than 1% definitely is too much. And obviously there are people who you can't choose a lot size. It has to be risk percentage per trade. So 1%, 2%, whatever that may be. Yeah. So, and then one other thing I forgot to ask you, Samuel. So we talked about the turtle, which is the 1 step, the hare, which is the 2-step, but you guys also have an instant funding model, correct? And that's where essentially a trader can just come pay a fee and basically get an account size. That's how it works? Do you want to just explain that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So we found that feedback from our traders, again, like we listen a lot to the community. What do they want? What's their ideal situation? Then we see if we can design something that's going to work for both of us. Obviously, we're in business and we need to stay in business. We're not going to go create crazy challenges that are like, hit a 1% profit target and we'll fund you with $10 million.
Right.
That crazy stuff. Like, I mean, it makes it a really attractive package for the trader, but for us as a business, obviously it wouldn't be viable. So the instant funding model is something that we got feedback from traders and they really wanted. And so we designed that package there. So essentially, people can start trading, and receive payouts on their first, right from day one.
Right.
It's not, when I say day one, it's not like you're receiving a payout on day one, but you don't have to pass a challenge before you receive a payout. You do need to meet the minimum profit target to receive that payout. But you're receiving your profit split on that first phase. Unlike the turtle, which is a 1 phase, or the hare, which is a 2 phase. You've got to trade, you've got to pass the challenge, then you go onto a funded account, and then you're eligible for a payout. You're eligible for a payout right from the start.
Okay, so and is the profit target that they have to meet 5% before they can apply for a payout?
It's 10%.
10%. Okay.
Yeah, it's 10% for the first level, right? So every 10% they make, we scale them up, and so the first level, they get scaled up 4 times, so scaled up 400%. So if they start with a 2.5K account, let's say, when they hit the first 10% profit target, we scale them up 4 times.
4 times.
So then they're on a 10K account and they're receiving then they're on a 10K account and they're receiving the profit split on 10K. And then from that point, we double the account every time they hit 10%. So that could take them as little as 5 days to reach their next profit target.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of scaling available as well for the instant funding, like a lot basically. They can scale that up quite a bit.
Absolutely. You could scale to about $1.28 million in a very short period of time. When I say short period of time, like a couple months.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, you've given some really amazing information. You guys are really looking for traders that want to have a career in the prop firm industry, that want to do this long term, that want to stick with the company, want to stick with attainable targets and rules, which should be in place anyways. And I think some of the rules make sense if you want to do this for the long run. So it was great perspective from you today, Samuel. Is there any last piece of advice that you can wrap up with for maybe the traders, somebody who's looking to pass a challenge with Traders with Edge? Is there any some golden piece of advice that you could give to some of the viewers here?
Yeah, look, trading is damn hard. Let's not, there's plenty of people out there and they'll say, just click this button and you'll be a millionaire overnight. Don't listen to them. It's not that easy, right? If it was that easy, everyone would be rich, everyone would be lying on the beach, having a big party, and they're not. That's the reality of it. So I guess the first thing is getting grounded and like understanding reality. That's the way it is. It is hard work, right? You think about it, like if you want to go be a doctor,
yes,
you don't just rock up and you push a button and I'm a doctor and now I can make lots of money as a doctor, right? You've got to go to school and you've got to study for many, many years and get certified before you can actually be a doctor.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much profession where you've got a really high paying profession. The problem with trading is it's got a really low barrier to entry. So people can go open a trading account, they can put money and they can push a button, up or down, and they're in business, so to say. That's that's a downside to this business. But in reality, you do still need to put in the hard work, the discipline, the time and practice. And like we recommend just stick with a demo account as long as possible. Like don't sign up to a prop firm if you don't want to, or if you're not ready, right? Just because there's this amazing opportunity with prop firms, it doesn't mean that you should be signing up and trying to trade with the prop firm. So if you really want to be successful, just practice every single day. Take note of your emotions. So, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling angry, tired, if you're feeling ecstatically happy or too overconfident, we know these things all affect people's trading ability. Once you've kind of got that down pat, you've got a strategy and you stick to your rules and you know that you stick to your rules, it's about finding the right company. So it's about partnering with a company that's going to be there in 10 years and 20 years from now. Because we know this space is it's kind of like, it's just full of landmines, right? You see so many prop firms pop up and they're like the next best thing. You got to trade with them because they've got really easy rules. And, you saw a couple of people post fake payout proof on Instagram or something like that. That's not what you should be aiming for if you actually want to make a real income in it. If you want to try to go get rich quick and that's your thing, by all means do it. But know that you're probably going to get burnt, if you're going for that as opposed to trying to find something that's a bit more stable that's going to support you and grow you. Because once you have the trading skill nailed, you can't take it away from you. It's a lifelong skill that you can use. You take 6 months off, a year off, come back to it, you've still got that skill. You can still make money from it. The advice, and that's a really long, protracted answer, but the advice is, it is hard. Just stick to it, put the work in, and stick to the fundamentals, and you will be successful. You can't help be successful. It might take time. It might be frustrating in the meantime, but that's really it. It's really boring advice, but if someone wants to actually be profitable with this, that's really the honest answer.
No, I think you put it perfectly, and trading is kind of boring too. It takes a long time to learn. The learning curve is extremely difficult. It takes a lot of patience. It's not easy to do, and I think you said it perfectly. Thank you for all your great insight today, Samuel, about Traders with Edge. Again, if you guys are interested in doing a challenge with them, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get a discount. So please go there and check it out.